Yeah, I think the idea of time travel is stupid. Except for, I guess, like, if there was a way of doing non-paradox time travel where you go back in time and that creates a separate time. But then it gets into the whole entire issue of what if we're living in a paradox time capsule of someone else's altered timeline? I like how you have the mask, and I do too, but that's just because it's a natural factor of this character. Don't worry, we're not going to spread any of this here Second Life COVID. This is why I'd get canceled as a streamer. Not over me cussing too much, not over anything stupid. No, it's gonna be me saying something like that. The Twitch is just gonna be like, no. Exactly. Oh yeah, that and the fact that I would probably get too political at some point. That'd probably be a thing that would fucking ruin me. I'd get too political with some sort of minor legal issue that I just completely disagree with, but blow it into a proportion where it makes way too much sense that it shouldn't be a thing. Like current copyright laws. That would really get me banned. That would, if I went to that discussion. I'm thinking about doing streaming when I get out. I just gotta be careful. Think about the things that I can't say. Well, I'm not racist, so I don't gotta worry about that bit. You mean I can't? Oh wait, nope. I can get past that. I have moves. No, I don't. Well, if that's the only things that they are against, then I can just absolutely demolish shit with my political views, I guess. If people want me to get into it. But then, even then, I don't really feel like that's like a big thing that people are concerned with. Because believe it or not, I believe the vast majority of people are just the uneducated masses that don't give a fuck but will vote anyway because their parents were liberals, so now I'm going to vote liberal, or my parents are conservative, so now I'm going to vote conservative. But I'm not going to do any research to understand what things are within the rules of being a liberal or conservative, which, you know, dictate what is actually good and evil in the realm of politics. It's very odd. But everybody thinks that they have an opinion that matters. I'm not gonna read into anything, but I'm gonna pretend like my opinion matters. And the worst part is a lot of people that think that way are stubborn as fuck. So you can literally explain it to them, and they just won't listen. Okay. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing it right around when I get out. It'll be a good pastime. I'm not trying to do it while I'm in, because I know that'll just be a bunch of extra drama if something happens. But, yeah. I could, potentially. But, I mean, the odds of that are pretty low. Unless I gain connections really fast. It's just about knowing people, really. As much as streamers think it's about skill and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, and then I mean, like, the big thing is, oh yeah, that's a big fact on my end too. I think that people that do that are, it's just a really selfish decision, but even then it's a very dumb one to top it off. There's so much to do. Even if you're having a shitty time, I mean, that's just a time that's going to be shitty. You know? And I've been through some shit, and I haven't had that bad of a time. there's a very few circumstances where I could understand taking that type of action. But I do believe that there are times when that is a 100% valiant effort and something that should be done. But for the vast majority of people, no. Mostly if you have, like, you know, secrets that are something that could expose the government, things like that, and you're captured, and you know that you're not going to be able to keep them, then yes, by all means, you know, I don't know, figure out some way of not spreading it. But other than that, yeah. I mean, that'd be pretty rough. I mean, they did turn him into the veggie monster after a while. If I got turned into the veggie monster after being the cookie monster, I think I'd do the same thing.
XD.
By the way, I got a grill out that I'm going to do here in about an hour, so I'm going to have to hop off here in about an hour. Speaking of cooking. But yeah, I mean, I've got some really awesome food going on. Yeah, so they normally have grills, but this place doesn't, so I wound up having to buy a, you know, like the little tiny freaking table grills? Like the little tiny table, like, charcoal grills? I bought like a $27 one of those. So I had something cheap that I could burn some coals in, because let's be honest, it doesn't really matter. As long as I can cook it. Yep. And then I got some steaks and some pork chops. I got some cheap cuts of steak, and then I got myself some good cuts of steak. I'm going to share some of the cheaper ones and some of the pork chops, because the pork chops are nice and cheap. Well, I'm definitely going to eat one of them pork chops, because they're going to be fucking delicious. I made the pork chops with, so I made it with a half of a mango, so a whole mango. So it was 8 pork chops, and I wound up dividing it into a bag. But I'll give you like basically what I put into both the bags, but I separated them equally. But I put like a whole mango. I put like, I think it was 4 habaneros into it, fresh habaneros. I put some parsley and some basil and, wait, no, rosemary. Yeah, rosemary. Might have been basil. Could have been basil. I don't know. One of those. And I put onion powder, like 4 cloves of garlic, I put a little bit of barbecue sauce in it, and then I also put 3/4 of a bottle of, mango moscato into it. Yeah, mango moscato. And I diluted it a bit to make sure that it could cover the whole thing. And it has been marinating for 24 hours. It's going to be really good. That one's the one that I'm excited about the most. The other steaks have like a pretty standard steak thing. I did put some fresh habaneros with the steak to help break down the proteins, the cheaper ones. And then on the better slices of steak that I got for myself, I put some in there too, but just to add a little bit of kick. Will do. Do you want to see a picture of the of it inside of Seasons bags? I do have one of those on my phone. Yeah, they're going to be delicious. I can't wait. Yeah, it is. Like I said, I had to break up most of the bags into two. Most of the, well, I actually broke up every single type of steak except for the beef steak into two. So the cheap beef steak I was able to put all into one bag. But I mean, it was so cheap. I mean, I was just kind of like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll make a bunch and share it with a bunch of people around the barracks, you know? I do like spreading some of my culinary masterpieces with some of my fellow Marines, so that way they can have a good day. Every day you get some free steaks, a good day, you know? The first time that I like cooked steak at the barracks? Nah, I used to do it at my other barracks all the time. I literally used to have people like, no shit, they would pay in and stuff, and like, I'd make I made chicken fried rice, spicy chicken fried rice, and that shit was bomb as hell. And then I made steak, chicken, made all kinds of stuff. I had a burner, so there we had a grill that worked, and I also had a hot plate, but I wound up having to throw out the hot plate because I didn't have enough space for it. But yeah, I can't wait till I get out and I can start cooking again, you know? Like, I actually have the funding and everything to just sit there and cook for myself. Maybe someone else too. I do love me some guacamole. I know. I just read it and I was like, the first time you wrote it out, I read it and I was like, I'm pretty sure she means guacamole, but I was like, guacamole. Okay. Yeah, it has habanero in it, which is pretty good. I do admit it would be better with some guac, but I ain't got that type of resources around here. I mean, my living spaces ain't that big. I ain't exactly got a pantry going. I do have an empty fridge. Except for all the steak in it that's literally filling most of the bottom of my fridge. And the beer above it that you couldn't see because of the way that I took the picture because I was sending it to my parents. I'm gonna get a big refrigerator when I get out. I wish. Shit, if they let me steal all the stuff from my barracks room, I probably would. I'd find a way to take that on my plane ride back. There's always some way to finesse the system on that one. Well, man, I gotta definitely sign up for Terminal. I should probably start checking out here soon. Yeah, I gotta talk to my career planner. Fucking hell. I got so much, like, Marine shit to do right now. Yeah. It's a glorified prior service recruiter for your service. My bad. I mean, it's a guy who really tries to prepare you for going to the outside world. He doesn't do that, but yeah. No, trust me, you don't just get out. It is a whole, large, long process to get out. It takes like half of a year to get out. Yeah. But I mean, I'm okay with that, because that's just half of a year of me skating while I try to get out. Ugh. After you've been in as long as I have, you realize that they're just not, and they're never gonna be. If anything, it's gonna become more cumbersome. And I also have to go to the freaking TRS with transitioning. They have like a transitioning class for transitioning from being in the military to being a civilian. If I'm trying to join the Air Force, which I think I might be trying to do, but I'm not 100% certain on, I gotta figure out what's going on with my college opportunities and things like that. Because I'm gonna be honest, I mean, if I got a really good opportunity for college and a pretty decent job when I get out, then why bother? Yeah. Which do sound like very great options. But the big issue that I have is if I join the Air Force, then it's either, I'm either going to do it as a career or waste a lot of time that I can't afford to waste. I've already wasted 5 years, so... Yeah, but I mean, I got things I want to do, I want to work on electronics, want to maybe even work on like prosthetics or militarized prosthetics. What do you mean, the militarized ones? Okay, well, to answer that question, yes. As a civilian job, yes. But potentially doing government contracting for some of the militarized prosthetics. Although also potentially doing civilian militarized prosthetics where it has things like, a holster inside of like a guy's fake arm or, inside of a person's fake leg. It might have a holster in it. And you can like press a button or think about something and it'll pop out and you can grab it. That'd be dope as fuck, But for the military and for like, the CIA and FBI, then they can have like, a barrel inside the guy's arm where you can manipulate his arm in a certain way and it can pop someone's fucking dome piece. No one's going to expect a guy who has a seemingly normal arm to have a bullet come out of his hand and shoot somebody in the back of the head. It'd be genius. Do that in a silenced .22 caliber where you can barely even tell if the shot has been fired. They're gonna have no idea where the fuck that shit came from. And that's just like the beginning of some of the covert uses. What do you mean, what about school? I'm going to go to school for electronics or robotics, one of the two. Leaning more toward robotics. And then afterward, I'm going to get a minor medical degree. Or I might see if I can do some weird thing where I mostly do freaking medical for nervous. Do like neurology, but do it in a way where I'm not a doctor, but I want to know a lot about the fucking nervous system. Because that's what I'm after. I want to learn what all those things that make people able to do things do, so that way I can put that into a fake arm. I mean, I don't really give a fuck about all the little meaty bits, because that's not going to be there. I mean, I would kind of work on like cybernetic augmentation and things like that too, but yeah. Not really robot, mostly, additions to people's bodies where they have been missing pieces. So if somebody's missing a leg replacement, things like that. But doing it in an ergonomic and lightweight way, such as using airbag technology or vacuum technology.
Okay.
Yes, kind of. And then for the augments, mostly like, I don't know. Not really sure what I want to get into on all that. Would be interesting to see if you can replace a person's eye, though. Because I'm just saying, if I could get some really cool, like, super zoom in 4K eyeballs, I'd be down. And then I wouldn't need to get Google Glass either. I could just install it into my eyeballs directly. Oh, there's all kinds of really exciting jobs out there. I mean, I could do chemistry. That shit's fun as fuck. That's kind of another thing that I am pretty decent at, that I think would be a pretty fun opportunity for me to do. But at the same time, I mean, we're simply not doing enough weapons chem like I wish that we were doing, you know? I want to make more explosives, but not a lot of people are trying to buy explosives. I mean, I guess I could work on trying to make a hyper-aggressive version of Thermate, because Thermate's just a really aggressive version of Thermite. So make an even hotter welding compound. That'd be cool. Then the military could use it to burn down some really cool shit very quickly. Although I know they don't use proper eye protection and shit when they use it anyway, so there'd be no point. Because the UV light will fucking burn their eyeballs out. Which I'm sure is already a problem with Thermite. I mean, not Thermite. Thermal grenades, which actually use Thermate instead of Thermite, which is just a more aggressive version of Thermite. Of which I know how to make both. And they're not actually that hard to make. Thermate's slightly harder to make than Thermite, but not by much. And I learned how to make them before I joined the Marine Corps. It's mad funny when you talk to the demo guys, though. And then you break down how to actually make it, and then they look at you and they go, "You're not supposed to know that one." And then you're just like, "Yep." I like to know stuff like that, though, because it's very useful to know, you know? It's nice to know how to take things around you and get the maximum use out of them. In case you're in a dire situation. I mean, I hope I never have to use it. And I've never had to use it in the past. I've done it before because I wanted to see what that shit looked like. Shit was pretty dope. First time I did it, I was really young and really stupid. I did it without eye protection. I was seeing purple for like 5 minutes. I thought I went colorblind permanently. Talk about some spoopy shit. Oh yeah. Although I actually know like some decent, I actually know like decent amount on like how to get proper ratio and things like that. So I mean, who knows? I might make more of it just for fun someday. I don't know why I would, but it'd be an interesting experience. It is fun to watch it melt shit. You went to Kulig, didn't you? Didn't you go to college? Do you have a degree? Oh, god damn it. I think you need a bachelor's to be an officer. In any branch, it's all the same. Or are you joining to be an officer? Why not? Being an officer's the shit. Trust me, you want to be an officer. What do you mean, responsibilities and stress? It's not that bad. You just gotta be good with politics. That's what it is here. It's all politics, baby. Do you enjoy typing? A lot. Then you should be fine. You're just gonna have to type a lot and sign a lot of documents and shit like that. All of those responsibilities aren't really gonna fall on you. You're just gonna look at the freaking enlisted guy and be like, yeah man, I ain't gonna lie, I really don't know a whole lot about this shit. I'm gonna keep you in charge of most of it. And whoever's the enlisted guy is gonna be really happy to hear that from you. Because believe it or not, a lot of the times you get... Okay, well here's the issue, okay? This is how the whole officer system works. So, when an officer joins, they're immediately in charge of a bunch of people. the enlisted counterpart that's in charge of those people has already been in for, like, at minimum 8 years. And the officer has the ability to boss around that guy. And some of them do, and they're really stupid, and they make a lot of mistakes. Basically, as long as you're not the type of guy, or my bad, type of gal who would be really stupid and make a lot of mistakes, slash, you know, try to boss some guy who clearly knows more than you around, you should be fine. I mean, you can give the guy advice and tell him that you don't necessarily agree with things, or you can, like, you know, bring things up to him. And if he's doing something real fucked up, you can fix it. I mean, that's that's really what you're there for. You're there for, like, you know, having accountability of someone. But yeah, I mean, you're not really there to initiate change or anything once you first become an officer. And then they'll explain to you what you do on the next level while you're, you know, busy being a butterbar. It's really not a bad process from what I've heard. And you make a lot more money, like double. I'm not saying it's all about the money, but I'm saying money's really nice. Trust me, if some of the people that are officers, and if some of the people I've seen are officers, you can definitely be an officer. No, it's a lot easier to be an officer. What are the first 5 letters in officer? Exactly. That's where you're going to work. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. I'm going to have to go down, grab my charcoal out of some dude's trunk, and start prepping this steak, you know? Getting everything ready for everybody to come down. You have a good one.